Stevenson, 20 states. Eisenhower, 28 states. That adds up to an electoral vote for Stevenson of 217, for Eisenhower, 314. The prediction on this basis is 24,456,000 and some for Stevenson, 27,445,000 for Eisenhower.
Thank you very much, Mr. Draper. In other words, it looks as though Eisenhower is going to get it as far as UNIVAC is concerned.
It certainly appears that the 34th man to occupy the White House will be 43-year-old John Fitzgerald Kennedy, third-generation descendant of Irish immigrants, the first Roman Catholic to occupy the White House. By moving those electoral votes in Wisconsin to the one column, according to CBS vote profile analysis, Lyndon Baines Johnson has been elected President of the United States. His electoral vote has gone over the 270 figure by a single vote, 271. And the landslide has carried him in for his first term in office on his own right by his own election. But our presidents are chosen by the Electoral College, and there the vote at the moment of decision this morning was more overwhelming for Richard Nixon. 30 states and 287 electoral votes for Nixon. He was leading then in Alaska and Missouri. And according to our CBS News estimate, President Nixon has been reelected. He has gone over the top with Michigan's 21 electoral votes for a total of 286. He needed 270, so President Nixon has been reelected according to our CBS News estimate. CBS News estimate that Jimmy Carter has won in Mississippi, 51% to 49%. We believe the final returns will be, and that, according to now our CBS News estimate, puts Jimmy Carter over the top to be the next president of the United States. He is the president-elect tonight. He now has 272 electoral votes to 109 for President Ford.
The people of the United States have made their choice, and of course I accept that decision. But I have to admit, not with the same enthusiasm that I accepted the decision 4 years ago.
CBS News now estimates that Ronald Reagan has been reelected President of our United States. Until this hour, it takes 270 electoral votes to win. Ronald Reagan already has, as you saw on that, we estimate about 280. Now, up until this hour, President Reagan had all the states in red that you see here, 136 electoral votes. This is before we started counting these new votes in from the Midwest and from the South. This is how it looked before the polls closed in many states at this hour. Now, after the polls closed in the states at 8 o'clock, the electoral count began to grow. And of the states reporting this hour, of the 16 more states, Ronald Reagan has won 12 of these new states, putting his electoral vote total over the top with 280.
Bush wins. Our CBS News estimate is, Governor, pardon me for just a moment, but I know you want to hear this. Stick with us if you will. Our CBS News estimate is that George Bush will be the next president of the United States, and that Dan Quayle will be the next vice president of the United States, given what we believe to be the fact that Missouri's 11 electoral votes in a particularly hard-fought and expensive contest, that Bush will win it, getting 11 electoral college votes.
Bill Clinton is the president-elect of the United States this morning, but his actual margin of victory is still not certain. Looking at the popular vote nationwide, Clinton has 43%, Bush 38%, and Ross Perot 19%. In the Electoral College, with 270 needed to win, Clinton has 353, Mr. Bush 160, and Perot 0.
Bulletin: Bill Clinton wins re-election. It's 9 p.m. in the East. Headline of the hour and the night: President Bill Clinton has become the first Democratic president in 60 years since the time of Franklin Delano Roosevelt to be re-elected to a full second term. Florida goes Bush. The presidency is Bush. That's it. CBS News estimates, when all the votes are in and counted, that George Bush will have won the presidency of the United States. The CBS News has now, for the second time tonight, pulled back Florida. We are now putting Florida in the undecided category. The reason we're doing that is that in actual votes counted, our CBS News actual vote counted tally is Bush leads by about 2,000 votes. and it being that low, charges of irregularities, a recount going to be called for by the Bush people, apparently, we're pulling back Florida. This doesn't mean that Bush won't be elected president. And the odds are that Bush can still win the presidency. Not going to say it's odds in his favor, but if you lead by even one vote, if it turns out that you won by one vote, you win. So under this setup, with Florida taken out, Gore leads Bush 249 to 246 with 270 needed to win. It's still, we can't say this too often, although we might say it too often, it gets down to Florida. Whoever wins Florida wins the presidency. But today, when Ohio finally went into the Bush column, it was clear the president had scored a decisive re-election victory. With decisions now everywhere but Iowa, CBS News estimates the president won at least 30 states and 279 electoral votes. Senator Kerry, 19 states, 252 electoral votes. Mr. Bush also won more popular votes than any presidential candidate in history.
This is a CBS News special report. I'm Katie Couric at CBS News election headquarters in New York. And we have breaking news, momentous news, really. CBS now estimates because of victories in California, Washington, Oregon, and Hawaii, CBS projects that Senator Barack Obama of Illinois will be the next president of the United States.
This is a CBS News special report. Election night bulletin. President Obama has won a second term as President of the United States. In the last few moments, CBS News has projected that President Obama would carry the state of Ohio, and with that, the president has amassed more than the 270 electoral votes necessary to win. Repeating now, the president has won re-election. This is the presidential race map as it stands right now. 270 electoral votes needed to win. President Obama has 274. That is it. It is done.
I've just received a call from Secretary Clinton. She congratulated us, it's about us, on our victory. And I congratulated her and her family on a very, very hard-fought campaign. I mean, she fought very hard.
And this is a CBS News special report. I'm Norah O'Donnell at CBS News, and we are coming on the air with breaking news at this hour. CBS News projects that Joe Biden has been elected the 46th president of the United States.